What's up?
What's happening?
Another episode of Feeling Non-Canon. That's what's happening. How you doing, Damo?
Dude, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Feeling
Feeling good. Feeling great.
feeling good. Yeah. I can't no complaints, man. How about you?
I'm solid. I'm almost in ketosis. My skin is glowing, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to be mindful, trying to be thoughtful of myself
That's
and
good.
others around me.
Yeah.
Feeling very positive about the world and the trajectory of my life.
Look, you've been hitting the supplements. Your
Been hitting the supplements, been hitting the
glowing.
gym. Feeling good.
Man.
It's this episode, what is this? Episode 17?
I think this will be 16. I think we had
Sweet
Yeah.
16. Usually, like in Sweet 16, there's like a party or something, but I don't really have.
we can drive. We
gifts.
can drive now.
I can. Oh yeah, we can drive now. This podcast can drive now. You
Get ready.
a permit. It's getting its braces off. Its voice is cracking.
We're gonna go to homecoming this year.
We're gonna go to homecoming. Maybe we'll ask Ashley. Ooh, Ashley.
You've always wanted to go with Ashley.
I always wanted to go with Ashley, man. Yeah. Episode 16. Wow. It feels good to keep this going. And this is a huge milestone for us. A huge milestone anime just hit is for the first time ever, a manga author was put on the Times most influential list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look,
Time 100.
Look at God, anime fans. Look at God. Like people are starting to like get it. Like, yo, this thing that people used to call Japanese cartoons is taking over.
Yeah, I think it's been bleeding into mainstream for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about there. I can't imagine there's any stigma with kids growing up these days. I don't think there's any kid hiding their anime collection, like no,
no
like,
girl's gonna look at me weird when I'm like, hey, do you want to like watch Naruto? No girl's gonna look at me weird if I say that. Like I feel like anime is low key like the Akira monster. It has slowly just begun to terraform and like consume everything. Like even the most popular rappers are into anime, and rap pushes popular culture. So anime is pushing popular culture is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's been doing that for a while.
Yeah, man. If I go on a date with a girl now and I'm like, let's watch anime, and she doesn't want to, I'm just gonna blast her on the internet. I'm just gonna be like, cancel.
Oh, she'll get put on that Summer Jam page or screen.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like to cancel someone for not liking anime, or to cancel them for liking the dub. She goes like, "Yeah, can we get rid of the subtitles?" Like, oh, racist. Watching dubs is racist. You are contributing to a societal pressure that English is the primary language. You should watch the language. You should watch the anime in the original language, unless you are a racist.
Yeah. Unless it's one of my favorite shows from the '90s, then please the dub.
I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball Z in the dub. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's just how it goes for us. Vets? Are we vets at this point? I don't even know.
I think there's like some vets who are like the people who like watch like Legend of the North Star. Like,
oh yeah,
like those kind of people I consider vets. Like I feel like I mean, I guess I've been watching anime for over 20 years now, but
yeah, before I even knew, I didn't even know I was watching anime until it's like too late. It's like you just watch it, and then all of a sudden it was you hit middle school and people's voices were dropping, and you're like, yeah, you guys watching Gundam? And you're like, you're not supposed to say that in a low voice. You can only say that in your prepubescent voice.
Yo, you guys are picking up Hamtaro? Last episode was kind of fire, right? People are like, what? I think about picking up Tenchi in Tokyo.
Yeah, I think it's like yeah.
I just remembered like I knew anime was a problem because it literally affected I ran track in high school, and it literally affected my running form. I used to run like Goku like this when I first started running, and my instructor was like, "No, you got to move your arms." So I just moved my arms like this.
Dude, I always ran like, you know how like, you know, I guess a lot of people run with their fists closed or something. I would always go palms open like I was Goku going down Snake Way.
Well, honestly, you're supposed to run like kind of like this, not like fists, but like you're trying to put out $1, like you're putting out $1 for a tip.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of like you're supposed to like kind of like do this and then keep it like here and not too pump back. So it's like you're still getting the aerodynamic through the air, but you still get that like little bit of tension that you want to feel like you're moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to cut through it. I was like,
this is not a running podcast, by the way. So yeah, a manga artist was given one of Time's most influential people. That person is, drumroll,
Koyoharu. Oh boy, Gotouge.
We'll edit that.
Koyoharu Gotouge of
Gotouge
of, you can probably guess, Demon Slayer. And I mean, a big year. It's like I mean, it's the only thing to ever, I don't think it was 2019, but 2018 it sold more than One Piece, which was like
highly impressive. Like we're talking about like the reigning champ.
Yeah.
Like crazy impressive. The #1 movie in Japanese cinema history. However, do you think, as far as we were like talking about earlier, do you think she like? It's great that she got on, and it's great that anime is now being recognized. But my question to you is, should it have taken this long? I guess I have two questions. Should she have been the first one? And I guess the first question was, should it have taken this long?
Yeah.
No, we both disagree. We think
no.
A lot of manga artists have influenced culture way before she did.
Yeah.
But and I guess I'm ruining my own argument here, but it's just like, I guess I'm ruining my own argument, but it's just like, time is late to the party.
Time is late to the party, I think, is the point of what we're trying to say
time
here.
is late to the party, and it's like, good it's her, it's good that it's a woman, it's good that it's like someone who just like dominated, but time is super late to the party. There's a lot more manga artists and animators and who in anime shows in general that have influenced people way beyond her. Before her, excuse me.
Like Toriyama is, if we're going like global, if we're going like who had the global influence first, I don't know, maybe first is, maybe not first, but Toriyama you got to put on there.
Yeah,
it's
Toriyama
Dragon Ball.
Sure.
Dragon Ball did it. That Dragon Ball broke the wall for the West. It broke it down.
You want to talk about influence?
Yeah.
Check out your boy. You want to say something? Like, give me my roses, nigga. like my hair, if I took off my beanie, you would see. I did it because I wanted to look like Vegeta. Like,
oh yeah.
If we're talking like influence,
yeah.
As far as like the amount of influence, short term for sure, Demon Slayer, but of all time is definitely Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it shows a sign of what we're talking about earlier, where it's just the stigma that existed in the West. Sort of a generation that was kind of unaware of what was happening to its youth. The whole generation didn't know that its youth was being subtly influenced by men screaming at each other with their shirts off, powering up. Yeah.
Like I love that like they did that, and it would like, as a kid I was like, yo, I feel that so much. I understand that, and I want to do that too so bad. I just want to scream. Until like all my problems are solved. Until I have the power to solve all my problems. I just want to punch my problems away.
Yeah. I think that was always like the joke is like anytime a dad walked in, it was during a 5-minute power up scene. They like open the door and it's just like,
and they're like, what is going on at this show?
And he's like, all right, my kids have got problems.
Yeah, I mean, out of context, anime is pretty ridiculous. Out of context, anime is so crazy. It just like doesn't make any goddamn sense. You're just like, so wait, this guy's hair turned gold, and now he's throwing other people through buildings.
Don't even need to worry about it. Don't even.
Good guy?
Yeah.
He seems pretty violent to me. He's like, nah, trust me, he's good.
Yeah. So you got like Dragon Ball, you got to put on there. There's so many things you got to put. I don't know if Pokemon. I don't think Pokemon had a manga originally, but
no, the video game I think is what like launched it.
Yeah, but like even like Yu-Gi-Oh, that's another thing that like
Yu-Gi-Oh was definitely highly influential.
Invaded a country or invaded the world.
Yeah.
Naruto,
I would say this,
Kishimoto.
Naruto is what I was going to say. My question to you now is, who do you think is next? So now that Demon Slayer is about to definitely the decline is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think Demon Slayer is probably going to be the new big for, well, just since it's ended. I think since it's ended, since Demon Slayer has ended, and like the manga sales are eventually going to peter out, who do you think is going to take Demon Slayer's place?
That's a good question. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what has the Western appeal. That'll probably be the big. That'll be the big thing. I mean, because obviously One Piece is One Piece. It's going to be One Piece for another 5 years or so until it does. But for some reason, that's never really hit the international radar, I guess, in the same way that like something like Demon Slayer has. I don't know why.
I think people I think first of all, the animation just was it's such a style that it's like so stylistic and so specific. That's why it works. Not to say that One Piece isn't.
Yeah.
Or like I for a moment I thought it might be like My Hero, but I think we are getting to a point of like superhero fatigue. Like Steven Spielberg talked about it. He's like, there was a moment where all we made were cowboy movies, and then no one makes cowboy movies anymore.
Yeah.
And I think My Hero probably will end in a couple years, and I think it should, because people are just getting tired of superhero movies. Like I don't watch, or superheroes in general. Like I don't watch WandaVision, or I'm not gonna watch the other Marvel stuff. Just because it's kind of like boring. It's like how it's like it's not fantastical anymore. It's just kind of like
it's just part of the mainstream thing.
Yeah.
Is
the new thing samurai?
That's interesting. I don't know what the new thing will be. I think like demon curse type things are like it's very in like the zeitgeist right now is like so maybe Jujutsu Kaisen has a thing. It's tricky because I think Demon Slayer blew up kind of right off the bat. So I think like everyone it was just from like kind of the rip. You just sort of knew that it was like something else, which I don't know if Jujutsu Kaisen has had like the exact same launch.
Jujutsu Kaisen's kind of been more of a slower build.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like My Hero in a lot of ways. Kind of like the first season was kind of under the radar. Like I didn't hear about the first season until the second season was coming out, and I was like, "Oh, what's this show?" And then I watched the first season, and I was like, "This is pretty fun." And then the fandom now is huge, and it's one of the biggest ones out there. But I think it's kind of the same deal with Jujutsu Kaisen. Maybe Chainsaw Man, since it's such a crazy concept.
Yeah, the concept's wild. I don't know. I think it'll probably be something smaller. I think I think
it could be Promised Neverland, just because they're going to live action, and if that hits like Stranger Things level, people might be really into it.
Yeah,
but Promised Neverland also kind of like a demon thing.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit in the something's in the water where things kind of switch to a little. I think the same thing's happening in the West too. I think you see a lot more like occult stuff nowadays than you did maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's just stealing from Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
My uncles are back home are just like, what? Demons? People like demons now? No.
Everything's about haunted houses and, people are just voluntarily becoming witches. It's just,
yeah. My ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, we just know you just know witches now.
There's just witches out there. Like, all right, well, you're a witch.
Yeah. So honestly, pretty smart to write some occult stuff right now.
Yeah. So congrats to the Demon Slayer team. They just announced season 2. That'll
be sometime this year. That's
sometime this year, 2021. Probably fall, I would guess. I don't imagine it coming out in the summer or it's fall the earliest. Probably winter, if we're being honest.
Whatever the last season of the year will be. I think season 2. The question is, are they just gonna reanimate the train arc? Are they gonna just reanimate the movie, or are they just like they do with the Dragon Ball Super stuff, or will they just kind of start with season 2 like post
the movie?
That's
interesting because the movie was such a success that it would feel kind of lazy to just do it again. But so was Battle of the Gods.
Yeah,
Battle of the Gods was a huge success.
Well.
And so was Return of F. And then when the movies came out, people loved them, even though Battle of the Gods was better than Return of F. But when the movies came out, people loved them, and then when they were starting them up again, it was kind of like a weird, like, why? Wait, what? Because I feel like if you watch Dragon Ball Super, you also watch the movies.
Yeah. I think for the most part, if it's, Demon Slayer is almost even on a different level completely, where it's the box office numbers are so huge that there should almost be an assumption that like you've seen it. Like it's like it's why, going back to what we were talking about earlier, why Marvel can make like TV shows and movies that like you're like, we just have assumed you've seen this and like we don't really care. We're gonna the plot is gonna be like we assume you've seen it.
That is true. After a certain, I mean, it's like you do 19 movies. After a certain point, you're like, all right, you don't need to. If you don't know, go watch them. And that kind of like lends to your storytelling in some regards because you have so much lore set up. In regards to Demon Slayer, this is like going to be, if they were to go straight into the events after the movie, it would be the third arc, and that's much longer. There's like a really long battle. That
much
happens.
longer. Yeah.
And I would assume, just like from what I've read, that might be the whole season, that one arc.
Interesting. I don't know. I won't.
You think they'd squeeze 2 in there?
I feel like you could squeeze 2. I feel like you could probably do that in 12, and then you could probably do the next one in 12. It would be pretty tight.
It would be tight.
But I would imagine that what they want to do is do 2 more seasons. That's kind of what off the top of my head is a season 2, season 3. And I think you could probably do it.
Wait, so you think that the season 2, season 3, and then a movie? Because there's like another fight after.
Yeah, I think.
So you think that they could do both of the fights?
Because there's like 3 more arcs. There's 3 more arcs, kinda, in the show after the train arc, and there's 2 where the final arc's massive. The final arc is huge.
Final arc is really long, which is why I'm like, I could see them just being like, you know what, we'll do part of the final arc as a season, and then the rest is a movie.
Yeah.
The real grand finale is a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not really there wouldn't be much of a plot. It would just be one giant battle.
Be just one 2-hour long movie of just anime, just like Sakuja, just like in, you're like,
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do. I imagine, that's a good point. They probably, with the success of the movie, I'm sure they'll try to do another one.
Yeah, I think that they'll definitely do another movie. I mean, I think that's what Attack on Titan's going to do. I think Attack on Titan's like, we're doing a movie, and we're gonna like, movie will probably release end of the year. Yeah. Or maybe even like a year from the day the season 4 started. But yeah, I'm excited for season 2. This arc, that if they do go straight from the train movie, this arc is like really fucking good and one of my favorites. I think since the announcement and who we see on the poster, it's pretty clear that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. The poster advertises the sound. He's the sound Hashira.
He's the sound Hashira.
Yeah.
Who does things in a very sexy way.
Yeah,
that's his thing.
Yeah, I think they advertise him pretty upfront as like a season 2, and they show him. So you go like, all right.
Yeah. So I think that's the answer right there. Unless they just are like, nah, fooled you. Train arc, bitch.
Let's rehash it. Throw in some filler.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch these greedy bastards.
They're gonna murder. They're gonna murder my boy.
Yeah.
But Netflix is partnering with Wit Studio to launch.
That's good.
Yeah.
It seems like it's like trying to like an initiative to get animators into like train them, and then so they can work for Wit. And it's kind of like it's kind of like the opposite of the school to prison pipeline. It's like it's like school to drawing pipeline. Which is great. It's great. I think it'll definitely. I mean, Wit's one of the best studios out. It's very small, but still one of the best ones out. Has some of our favorites, like Great Pretender, Vinland Saga, the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. A list goes on.
Yeah. So Netflix is going to cover tuition for students to learn how to animate. They're going to cover monthly living costs and then it's just a pipeline straight into a gig where they can draw like the in between animation on like these big Netflix originals.
I wish Netflix could do that for just me in general. Just pay for my stuff. I'll still pay for Netflix if you pay for everything else, Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, they're raising our prices. You might as well.
I actually unsubscribed. I was like, I don't really watch this enough.
Yeah,
like
sorry.
I go through spurts where I'm like, I'll watch Hulu for like 3 months straight, and then I'm like, I'm kind of bored with Hulu, and then I'll unsubscribe from Hulu, then I'll go back to Netflix, and then I'll catch up.
I guess there's no punishment to doing that. They don't charge you like a leaving fee or anything.
They're not like cable where cable's like, you left us, you gotta
How could
pay
you
$200 to come back. Cable is the ultimate jilted ex.
Yeah.
Like, how could you leave me?
It's like, I need the spatula. You're like, the spatula? Do you really need your spatula back? You're like, you gotta give me my
spatula back.
You have to give it to me. You're like, all right, fine. Take what you need.
Overall, I think that's a very positive thing. Netflix is making a huge investment into anime, and I love it. Netflix, like we were talking about it, I think a while ago. I was like, is Netflix good for anime? And it's like, this is like, in my opinion, objectively, like, yes, it is. Like, if you are investing in animators, the animators themselves, that tells me that you are good for anime. And I hope the other streaming services who are anime dependent take notice and start to just invest and pay these people more and give them a livable wage and conditions.
Yeah, especially if, it's going to be this giant medium, and you can only keep, I don't know, you can only keep that bottled up for so long. I mean, it's before it's like, you know what? We know what the demand is. Like, you got to pay us more.
I mean, I work on an animated show, and I see some of these boards, and it's like pretty impressive what they can do.
Yeah.
And nowadays, because of Corona, they don't even need to leave the house to do that. Like, they can do this from home. So it's like, if you like pay them to live at home and work, like, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
You know, it makes the product comes out better, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's just if you take care of your employees, I think they generally will do a better
look
job.
At the product.
Yeah.
I would assume that Wit's. I don't know. This is maybe too. I'm probably talking about my ass here, but I would hope Wit is like paying their animators like top dollar.
Oh man, you hope so.
Because the animation is so good in most of their shit. It's like always top notch.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe Netflix is trying to get in front of a scandal here.
Possibly.
Netflix is like, they saw the studio, they're like, oh my God, we have to take care of this. This is horrible.
One thing I will say, though, is just like, I would always like, I would love to like bet on how much you think this animator was paid to draw this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could, like, if the drawing's really shitty, like, this is how you know they're one of those animators who's like freelance, probably got like $1 and a soda to draw it.
I would love like the pop-ups they have on like Amazon when you pause and it shows you like the cast and stuff. It also shows you like how much people were paid for like just like every time you pause, you go, oh, look at that.
Like the Brawley versus Gogeta scene. I was like, oh, this guy has healthcare for sure. For sure, this man has healthcare.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Another episode. Next week we'll turn 17. We'll probably have jokes about that. You know, so come watch those jokes. Like and subscribe. Comment below. And see you next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Feeling Non-Canon.
Later. Bye.